World of Warcraft's 20th anniversary event starts October 22nd, it runs for 76 days until January 6th, and within that span of time, we're going to get constant time walking and a whole bunch of content that is centered around the new Celebration Grounds area. That's located just outside the Caverns of Time, and you can get there super easily through the portal rooms in Stormwind and Orgrimmar. There's actually a hell of a lot to do, so first I'm going to break down all of the content that's coming, how the rewards work, and then how you can earn the new currency, all of course possible with today's sponsor. We're going to teach you backend development with Python and Go. They are boot.dev, and they're not just any programmers, they're also like you and me. Quite literally, they reached out to me because they're viewers of the channel. Now, backend development essentially is building the functionality in a site or an app. It's learning how to fire up a database and connect it all together, make functionality that people can actually use. And professionally, that's obviously valuable. You're looking at average salaries of 100 grand, flexible working schedules, all that good stuff. Personally, well, you'll learn great skills, like say Python. And when you know Python, why not try building a Discord bot for your guild, doing fun things like that. And of course, you'll learn on their platform that's got achievements, XP quests, even community boss battles, and it's something they are always developing. Like literally, there's monthly patch notes, like the most recent one where they unveiled their new memory management course, and to go alongside all they do in the site, they have loads of free content, like a 7-hour walkthrough of their Python course to help get you started, explainers of key concepts, and, interestingly for me, a functional programming walkthrough. Just kind of fun because I was 100% object-oriented by training. Computers are awesome, and with boot.dev, you can learn skills that will allow you to build cool things with a computer, understand how the web works, and of course improve your job prospects. And even better, at boot.dev/Bellular Warcraft, you get 25% off your first purchase, and the way to save the most would be to do the annual plan, and then if it's not for you, well, you can use their 30 days, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. The biggest new content is Blackrock Depths. It's been remade as an 8-boss raid on LFR, Normal, and Heroic. It drops the loot that you would expect, but with the equivalent item level of Narubar, the current endgame raid, and it'll also fill up your Great Vault. Every boss has got revamped mechanics as well, so this is not just a simple scale it up and call it done. No, they've actually put a lot of effort in. And another neat component is that the bosses and mini-bosses drop relic coffer keys. These can actually be used to purchase specific bits of gear from these 3 vendors in the event ground. And depending on your luck, you'll get between 29 and 42 keys a run, and the items cost 40, which is terrific for sorting out a missing slot on any of your characters. Then there's Codex of Chromie. This is a 20-player scenario that you can queue for using the Dungeon Finder. Basically, you'll be reliving and defending the opening of the Gates of Anchorage, which is an event from the game's past. There's a daily queue reward that drops gold, valor stones, upgrade crests, and warbound gear, so it's pretty good for that. And you can also queue from level 15 onwards, so here's to hoping the experience is good for this one. Then we have world bosses, and loads of them. Tanaris has got 3, Doomwalker, Shavanger, and Archivon. Each of course has a loot table, and they do in fact drop their original mounts. Then you've got the Dragons of Nightmare, which are once again back. These are especially important because they've got otherwise unobtainable appearances. You'll find these of course in the Hinterlands, Ashenvale, Duskwood, and Feralis, and with the War Within's transmog changes, you'll be able to earn warband-wide appearances here far more easily. Finally then, there's Azuragos in Ashara and Kazak in the Blasted Lands for a total of 10 world bosses, all of which of course are shots at some scaled up gear. Our next feature is Classic Time Walking. It has the original versions of Deadmine, Zul'Farrak, and both wings of Diremaul and Stratholme, fairly iconic for those players who have been there since the beginning. And unlike other Time Walking weeks, you can queue for these from level 10, which is going to be brilliant for leveling. I mean, think maybe getting 4 levels a dungeon, it should be pretty crazy. There's an achievement for completing one of these dungeons and an achievement for completing all of them, and this is not a one-time thing. This will live on as a proper part of the Time Walking rotation, though it is going to be active for the entire duration of this event, with the rest of the Time Walking schedule continuing as normal. And that means that during the weeks where this is active and another Time Walking is active, you'll be able to blast all the way up to near max level super quick just using the Time Walking dungeons. The next feature then is Guest Relations, and that may not seem exciting unless you partook in what it's a follow-up to, which is Secrets of Azeroth. It was a much-loved event that was ran last year, and this is a fairly similar concept. It's framed around solving the problems of characters who attend. Because it's Azeroth, they are a colourful bunch. Expect loads of Easter eggs, and if you complete the whole thing, you'll check off 3 achievements, earning you the Detective title and 2 Thinking Cap transmogs. Korrak's Revenge also returns, but it hasn't been changed. It's essentially a nod to the original Alteric Valley, complete with dailies, a weekly, and mount rewards. And finally, there's the Celebration Grounds. In them, you'll find 3 main activities. They're called Mount Mania, Fashion Frenzy, and Storytime. They rotate every 15 minutes, and then there are smaller ones like Pet Dress Up, Character Cosplaying, Balloon Rides, Ice Rink, Photo Booth, and Vista Portals. And if you complete all the achievements from doing these, you'll unlock the Cold Flame Tempest mount, which is themed after the internal Blizzard employee rewards. So, that's a lot of content. Next, though, we've got to talk about the currency. In this event, Bronze Celebration tokens are used to purchase most of the new and exciting cosmetics, and thankfully, they are a fairly alt-friendly system. They are warband transferable, which is quite nice, and you earn them through a few one-time quests, a single daily quest, a selection of weekly activities, including new event ones and existing War Within ones. What's important to note, though, is that those only reward tokens once per week across your entire warband, so you don't need to mass farm all of these weeklies on all of your characters. The big thing, though, is that once you earn 100 tokens across your warband, you'll unlock an achievement called Token Collector. And when you do, this will allow you to earn tokens from various repeatable, uncapped sources across your warband. And just to get a sense of numbers here, the big ticket reward that most people are excited about, of course, are the Tier 2 remakes. Your first purchase costs 60 tokens, the second costs 40, and the rest will only cost 20 for a combined cost of 320 tokens. So, 320 plus some more is basically our big goal. First, though, we need to get 100 tokens, so let me break that down for you. Bear in mind the Blizzard may tweak a few numbers here and there before this hits live, but basically, here's how the whole thing works. To start you off, there are 2 introductory quests at the event ground that get you 7 tokens in total. They're really quick, and you'll also be able to pick up a quest to defeat the final boss of Blackrock Depths, which will be worth 5 tokens. Then there's the daily quest called Celebrate Good Fun. It's really simple, and completing it gets you 3 tokens and a 10% rep and XP buff that stacks on top of the event's baseline 10% buff, which is very nice indeed. Our next set of earnings then are through the weekly quests. Now, these weekly quests, in terms of token rewards, are once per week warband wide, so you can complete them on any character, but if you do the same quest on 2 characters, the second character won't get any tokens. They'll still get rewards, but they just won't be as good. The upshot, though, is that you do not need to farm these on every single character like mad to maximize your token gains. And they all basically work the same way. Your first completion earns you 3 tokens and a cache of Bronze Celebration treasures, with repeated ones just awarding the cache, with that cache having slightly worse gear. There are 5 of these in total, 1 to defeat the 3 world bosses in Tanaris, 1 to earn 500 honor in Korak's Revenge, 1 to complete Chromie's Codex, another to do 5 time walking dungeons, and 1 to defeat the final boss of the Blackrock Depths raid, which again you could just quickly do on LFR because you will actually be able to queue up for just the final boss wing, so that's pretty damn handy. Doing all of these will get you 15 tokens a week, plus lots of other resources, which is brilliant for your alts, and there is also another weekly for battle pets that will drop too, for a complete total of 17 a week. Then we've got the various Khazalgar weeklies, so the Theatre Troupe, Snuffling, Weaver's Court, and the Special Assignment World Quest will give you 1 token each, while Call of the World Soul and Archives will give you 2. Each weekly event also has got an associated quest, which will give you 2 coins, and you'll also get 1 from the PvP weekly. All in all, it should be about 9 a week. And put simply, you can expect to earn just over 60 tokens in your first week. That's enough to purchase your first Tier 2 Remaster. I've got to imagine that'll be Judgment for most people, and that will get you most of the way to the Token Collector achievement, with you being able to finish that achievement in your second week. Putting all this together, the daily quest can get you 21 a week, the event weeklies will give you 17 a week, and then the Khazalgar weeklies give you 9 a week, for a total of 47 tokens a week. Of course, by week 2, you will unlock the Token Collector achievement, and that is going to boost our earnings way further. It unlocks repeatable token earnings from doing content, which does mean that you'll be able to farm all this stuff out like crazy on your alts if you really want to. So a full clear of the Blackrock Depths raid will earn you between 8 and 12 a week. Now, we do believe that's still on a weekly lockout because it's a raid and it's per boss, not per difficulty, but that basically means you can complete Heroic in your main, you can do LFR in your alt, and you'll get tokens for both. The Chromie's Codex and Time Walking Classic queues will each award 2 tokens as well when you've got this achievement, though for some reason in PTR, I was able to get them without the achievement, so that may just be a bug. World bosses will also drop a token, as will the Korak's Revenge dailies. So with that, you'll be able to get loads, and it is hard to say exactly how these will work. Some features have been really annoying to test in PTR. You just cannot get enough people to do the Chromie event most of the time, and Blizzard have been constantly tweaking the numbers. But basically, all bets will be off, and you'll just be able to farm up in an uncapped fashion. Whenever we fully understand all of that, I will have a guide guide for you. Let's talk about the rewards then. The most important ones are the Tier 2 remakes. They do cost 320 tokens in total, and they're sold by Treya. Bob Adormu sells the Time Walking Classic items for Time Warp badges, but most notably, he's got, a large selection, but also weapons that are from Classic Season of Discovery. Then you'll find Historian Maddie, who has got new rewards as well. There's a ring, head, back, one-handed sword, and shield that are all inspired by the Blizzard Employee Service rewards, as well as the Little Doomy Pet and bags of Time Warped badges. Now, those bags have got 20 badges and they cost 1 token. That's really not a great deal, and I think that essentially just exists so that at the end of the event, you're not wasting your leftover tokens. She also sells 2 mounts, pets, toys, and transformation items. You'll then find Storekeeper Reginald. He's really important because he's got previous anniversary event rewards. These are things like the Onyxian Whelpling, the Baby Blizzard Bear, Hatespark the Tiny Little Nefarian, the Molten Corgi, and 2 mounts, the Corehound and the Obsidian Worldbreaker. These were the big headline rewards from past events, and the NPC actually says it could be 5 or 10 years before he returns, so yeah, don't expect him back next year. Definitely try to get those. Then to finish us off, Grabbly sells a bunch of titles, and over in Hillsbred Foothills, where the original Alteric Valley NPCs were, you'll actually find the time-displaced PvP vendors. They're cool. They actually sell a bunch of previously unobtainable items. They cost Time Warp badges and Marks of Honor, and this does include some nice faction-specific rewards. Another thing that will be quite big is gear rewards for your alts. Those weeklies drop caches. The queues drop caches. So by doing those, you'll be swimming in coffer keys and you'll get lots of starting gear for your characters, and that's not even counting you having 10 world bosses worth of loot to do on those characters, plus the Time Walking event chests, of which there will be many. And also, Time Walking will be absurdly fast for leveling this time around. So that's quite a lot of stuff, but technically it's not everything. Patch 11.05 has got more stuff in it, and you can learn more about that with this video next.